The Silencer issue 18, the final issue of this book. So this will be interesting to talk about. This issue essentially is Honor, who is now back with her family, who thinks she was in hiding because of the government after the hotel thing, and this issue is kind of her trying to like find out what Leviathan and Talia are up to, because she's like, well, they're going to come for me. I need to know what their movements are so that I can prepare and defend myself. Although she's met with just kind of this like, yeah, something weird's going on with Leviathan. It's basically tying into like Leviathan Rising, and that, you know, Leviathan's up to stuff. So it's basically like the future's uncertain, and that's kind of how it ends. It ends with this kind of ambiguous. She goes to answer the door. It could be the pizza guy, or it could be an assassin.
Yeah.
I actually think the kind of tying in does hurt it a little bit, in the sense that it doesn't feel like there's any closure to it, because it kind of puts her at ease at least to a point. She's like, she's low on the list of priorities. She's not a concern right now, and kind of feels like it's not anything that she earned to be, that she got out of it because of that. It was just, stuff just kind of happened, and good timing, I guess.
I don't mind the tying in because Leviathan's what's going on, and because that she's always been associated with Leviathan and Talia, it makes sense to have a bit of a mention of what's going on with them at the end of this, just to make it feel like it's a part of the world. I think what I like about the ambiguity of the ending is that it says to me that, yeah, we're open for a lot more of her in the future. Like, yeah, the book might be over, but Silencer might be a feature in other books down the line.
Yeah. Well, like when Slade comes to talk to her too, and is like, look, he's the one that breaks it to her that Leviathan's in shambles right now. Well, the Leviathan she was a part of. Yeah. And that, go live your life, kid, is what he basically tells her. Don't make the mistakes. I was getting a mentor vibe from him, where he was like, don't make the same mistakes I did. Go live your life. And, if you got to kill some people on the side, kill people on the side. But, and then that adds to the whole, she's always going to have to be looking over her shoulder just because of all that. And, but I feel like she has gotten out because of her showing up with Nightwing back during the Percy run. So, if we see more of her like that, that'd be cool. Or if she shows up during Leviathan Rising as an ally to the detectives.
It would surprise me
cool too.
if she shows up in some form.
I think, weirdly, that would almost be too soon to have that happen. Like right now, at the end of this, it feels like, no, she just needs to kind of spend some time with her family, not be rushing off to fight.
She can. Who knows how long this is starting? We just know that Leviathan's in shambles. So if she shows up during Leviathan Rising, it's been a couple, then
Sure.
But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I liked her husband, like, being kind of weird with her. Like, he's having trouble trusting her, so he goes to his therapy again and kind of talks it out a little bit. I like that it wasn't just like all is normal and forgiven, and I don't suspect anything weird. But ultimately, he's told, like, well, I mean, as loving her and wanting to help what she's going through enough to, like, kind of like get you over the idea that this was kind of weird, and that maybe she is hiding something, but maybe whatever she's hiding, something that she needs help with, even if she's not willing to admit it. It left them in a place where it's okay, they're in a better place, they've got hope for the future, but the door's still, no pun intended, literally open to use her in a plot line of some kind at some point. It's a sort of character that you can see, much like she showed up in Nightwing, although it hurts to think of Nightwing before what we have now. I think it leaves her in a good place. Although this issue definitely feels like more of an epilogue issue as opposed to the conclusion issue. I feel like last issue was more where the story really ended. This was more just getting her kind of like where she is now and how what status quo is kind of set up. That's it. Because she goes to one of the gun places, the weapons like places where the Leviathan like stores stuff, and sneaks in, has a bit of a fight with one of them, and finds some stuff out. That was pretty much it. And it's been the same artist for the last little while. Not as good as when Bogdanovich was on it, but still fairly solid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's been pretty good. Hard to complain too much about the art. I don't think there's been anything wrong with it.
It's been very consistent. Since Marion took over. So there's very little to kind of pick apart and go, that doesn't work, or that doesn't work, or whatever.
Yeah, but at the same time, there's very little to stick out and praise because it's the same as what I've had for the last 6 issues.
Yeah, when Bogdanovich was on it, I feel like we were praising it more often than not. But
yeah,
it is what it is. You know, so I mean, I'm obviously not happy the book's ending because I like the book a lot, but it doesn't feel like it was cut so short that it feels like, oh, it's all this unfulfilled potential where it never got to actually play out its story, kind of thing.
Yeah. So, like I say, it feels like an epilogue, and it's a shame that it's ended. But at least, even if it ended earlier than we'd have liked, it feels like it still ended on its own terms in the story. At least, like it felt like it built up and then it didn't feel like it was rushed to the end or anything like that. It didn't feel like it was cut short. It was still like 18 issues plus an annual, right? So it wasn't like a terribly short run.
Yeah, and she gets to say goodbye to several, her friends that helped her out and covered for her when she was missing and all that kind of stuff. She has a goodbye with a few different characters, so yeah.
Goes back to Walmart, where she's been banned.
It was when we got out of that conversation there. It felt super John Wick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So what are we rating Silencer though?
I'll give it a 7.
I'm gonna go 7. Jinx.
I'll go Smith Chair. I'll say 7.5. Yeah, it was bittersweet to say goodbye, but it's been a fun run.